Hello everyone, Upmann Professor here. Coming at you today with something a little bit different. Haven't done one in a while, but at least where I'm at right now, the weather is extremely hot. It's very humid, and we have skipped spring and moved directly into summertime. And for me, summertime and early fall, I enjoy cigars. I don't smoke pipes as much. I still smoke pipes, but I smoke cigars more so than not. In fact, I've been smoking cigars a lot longer than I have pipes, and I have quite an extensive cigar collection similar to my tobacco cellar. So today I'm going to do a cigar review. This will be the video version. I'm also going to do a written version that will be posted on thepipeprofessor.com. So if you want to see extra pictures of the actual box and things of that nature, a little bit of information written up, you can go there, visit thepipeprofessor.com, and read this review also. But today I'm going to be looking at kind of a gem. This is the H. Upmann Sir Winston cigar, and I was kind of motivated to smoke this cigar and review this cigar because of, reach it here, Cigar Aficionado this month did a preview feature on Winston Churchill. Now, I have not seen The Darkest Hour, the newest movie out about Churchill, but looks interesting. And after reading some of the articles, I got my issue yesterday. I got my copy of the issue yesterday, and after reading some of the articles, I was just self-motivated to light up a Sir Winston. So let's get into some of the characteristics of the cigar. Obviously, it's a Cuban cigar, so that means that the wrapper, binder, and filler and the country of origin are all Cuba. It's a puro, which means that it's completely, the tobacco comes from one country. So if it was all Dominican, it would be a Dominican puro. This is a Cuban puro. I'm not sure that they use Cuban tobacco in any other cigars, actually blending or anything. So I don't know if that's kind of redundant, but it is a Churchill size. It's a 47 ring gauge by 7 inches long. The box code on this cigar, which is another reason it's kind of special, is TLR SEP08, which means the factory code was TLR. It was rolled in September of 2008. So this cigar is just a couple months shy of being 10 years old. I try to be patient with my cigars. I learned this long ago, that if you can be patient with cigars and pipe tobacco, that there is a benefit to just kind of having that patience. So let's get into it before I clip the end and we get going. It has a wonderful pre-light smell. It's just, I mean, it's asking to be smoked. It's a beautiful, beautiful cigar. It's aging. I'm willing to bet it's aging really well, just at least from that smell. I don't detect any soft spots, and some of the smells I'm getting, and no, I'm not crazy, it kind of reminds me of like a rich, velvety chocolate raspberry kind of mix, something like that. A dark fruit, some like cocoa or something. It's really, really nice. Like I said, there are no soft spots. The wrapper, I know it's probably not picking up well on the video, but the wrapper is a kind of a medium brown. It has kind of like a red hue to it. I know you probably can't see it. It has like a reddish rosado kind of character or hue to it. There are a couple veins in the wrapper, but nothing that's poking through or anything that's should affect the smoking. The cap on it is a triple cap, but it is a touch sloppy. See right there. But the head of it's not too bad. So let's clip it and take a couple of pre-light puffs. By the way, while I do this, let me go over some cigar etiquette. A little bit of cigar etiquette. What I just did is I put the cigar in my mouth and got the head of the cigar wet before I clipped it. Now, these are my cigar clips or cigar snips here, these Zicars. This is a Zicar. I don't let typically nobody else uses these, it's just me. If you are in like a public tobacconist or somewhere that you can smoke or sell cigars publicly and you're using their cutter, don't put the cigar in your mouth and get it wet and then use the public cutter. Okay, that's not good etiquette. Similar to that is if you're in a humidor like a public humidor, and you pick a cigar up, and it's not in the cellophane wrapper, which Cuban cigars aren't, by the way, but a lot of others are. But there are some that aren't. So if you pick it up, don't stick the cigar in your nose and smell it like that. You don't know if you're going to purchase that. You know, this isn't yours. Other people are going to use it. So if it's yours, do what you want. But just a little tip there. All right, let's see how this draw is. Got a nice cut. And by the way, when you cut a cigar, you only want to take about a fingernail's worth off the top. You don't have to cut a lot of it off. Oh, that is a super tight draw. I mean, that's firm. That may be an issue. I may end up cutting more off. I'm getting a lot on the cold draw. Kind of creamy. Kind of like a draw straw or a hay character, but not a lot. So, all right, I'm gonna get this bad boy lit up. I'm gonna smoke the first third or so, and then I'll come back and check in with you after the first third. So, I'll be back in just a bit. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the H. Upmann Sir Winston cigar review here. I'm almost at the first third, but as you can see, the ash is starting to get a little lopsided, so I wanted to come on here and kind of go over what I've experienced thus far before I lose the ash, because it is pretty soft or brittle, and it's going to probably going to fall soon. Cigar's performing really, really well. The burn line is a little bit wavy, but it hasn't required any touch-ups, and thus far it's kind of fixed itself. Cigar's producing a thin, kind of like a thin smoke, thin white smoke, but a pretty good amount of it. So I'd say that the cigar right now at this point is medium-bodied, but the strength of it I would put in the mild category. It's very mellow. It's not overpowering or harsh at all. It's very delicate, has a little finesse to it. Some of the taste I've gotten thus far is like a soft caramel kind of note, and with that I've gotten decently heavy salty taste, almost like salt on the end of a margarita glass. And I've never had that. I've smoked several of these. I've never had that while smoking one of the Upmanns from '08. So it's kind of interesting or neat. The draw is tight, but it's not impossible. It's a little tighter than I like or appreciate. I do like a little firmer draw, but this is pretty tight. But the cigar is still smokable by far. Like I said, the burn is very good. The room note is kind of like a sweet, yeasty, bready smell. That's what it reminds me of. The room note, and like I said, the ash is a nice soft gray. There you go. Glad I got it on camera for you. I knew it was coming off soon, but so far, cigar's performing on me, performing really well. It's been most enjoyable. So that's almost the end of the first third. I'll come back to you once we get past the second third, and I'll check back in. Thus far, I've been smoking about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I don't smoke very fast, especially cigars. I like to enjoy them. So, but all right, I'll check back in with you here in just a second. All right, we're back. Smoking the H. Upmann Sir Winston. The ash just fell off, but I caught it this time. Managed to catch it. But this is about the end of the second third. Just a little bit further to go. And then we'll be at the end. But I'm going to go ahead and recap what we've gotten so far. Cigar's performed awesome still. The burn has been great on the cigar. I have not had to touch it up at all, which is always a positive. The draw is still a little tighter than I'd like, but not terrible. It's expected on a Cuban cigar, especially a Cuban cigar from the early turn of the century. Now, they did have draw problems big time in the early 90s, but I wasn't smoking cigars then because I was still in grade school. So. Actually, the draw's loosened up just a bit, but it's not. It's almost primo, not there just yet. But cigars just, it's good, just good. The salty notes, they faded away. The caramels continued, but kind of, it's not taking the forefront. It's kind of been replaced by the cinnamon, like a cinnamon brown sugar note during the second third. But what has really caught my attention is this butteriness that maybe it's a little salty from this butteriness that I'm getting, but this butter note has kind of like taken the forefront on the tasting, which is very, very delightful, very, very nice. Room note has continued to be like that fresh, yeasty bread kind of thing. Cigar is certainly medium-bodied. It still has a lot of thin white smoke on the draw. But I would say the strength of it has increased a little bit to the mild/medium category. It was strictly mild in the first third, but now it's upped a little bit, mild to medium. Like I said, the burn has been perfect, and before the ash fell off, it was just a nice, solid tower of gray ash. So, cigars burning well, performing well. Great afternoon, great way to spend the afternoon. So, all right, I'm going to finish out the final third and give you my final thoughts here in just a second, and we'll see how it goes. But so far, so good. See you in just a second. All right, everyone, back with the final third of the H. Upmann Sir Winston from 2008. So, cigar's been amazing. Just absolutely been well worth it. Well worth the wait. Not to say that there's not a little bit of time left in these, but so the final third, cigar never got harsh. Sometimes cigars, as you smoke them down, especially newer cigars or fresh cigars, they get a little bit tarry and a little bit muddled and harsh near the end. This is one of the reasons why aging cigars is, in my opinion, so important, is that it gets rid of that. It allows them to mellow, to just soften, and so when you get down to this last little bit, it's still enjoyable. Like, I don't even want to put it down. I wish I still had another Churchill to go. So that's the beauty in taking time, and patience in aging a cigar. Cigar overall, I guess, is the best way to describe the final third. It's just smooth. It's medium-bodied, medium strength, not overpowering at all. It's aged very, very well. I've had tasting notes or notes of like creamy breadiness, some caramel, and then a mild, here at the end, a mild little cedar note has snuck into the end, like a woody cedar, which is unique. It's nice. It's refreshing on the palate. The cigar has not dried my palate out at all. The room note continues to be very enjoyable, very nice. Cigar, I did have to touch it up once on the final third. The burn, I probably could have kept going, but I decided just to make sure to even it out. It wasn't absolutely necessary in order to finish the cigar, but I just felt it was best. So I did touch the cigar up once, but the burn has been impeccable. Let me get rid of that call. Sorry about that. The burn has been impeccable. Cigar has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed this smoke. I'm going to give it, depending on how the little bit that I have left, because it's getting kind of hot, finishes out, either 4.5 or 5 boxes according to the Pipe Professor scale. So we'll see. Thanks for joining me for this cigar review. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take time to get out, enjoy the weather, enjoy some good drinks, good smoke. And if you have the ability, put some cigars back for aging and just put them away. Don't touch them. Just leave them alone and relax and let them do their thing. You won't regret it. So, thanks for joining me. Until next time, we'll see you all on down the road. Cheers.